Hi there, this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, and welcome to another collection video. And this video is for Arrow Academy and Arrow Video. This is going to be in two big chunks, so there will be an awkward pause at the end of the Arrow Academy video as I staple on the Arrow Video. So Arrow Academy have an interesting mix of releases, from resurrected film noirs to westerns, some foreign titles, a real good mix of titles. I especially love their film noirs that personally I'd never heard of, because there's some absolute gems in here. So I'm just going to be different and do it in reverse alphabetical order, just to confuse people. So first is Woman on the Run, which is a really fantastic little, again, a little forgotten noir. It's only 78 minutes, but it's a really tense, as with quite a lot of film noirs that are low budget, because they were essentially B films. There's no fat on the bone, it's just bang, 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 bang. They're always brilliantly paced. So even although they might be short films in the grand scheme of things, they're quite awesome. Next is the Untamed. Again, there are films in this collection, as you'd expect, that I haven't actually watched yet. Too Late for Tears, with Lisbeth Scott and Dan Deria, which is arguably my favourite noir in the Arrow Academy. Again, I'd never heard of this. It's from 1949, and again, it was rescued and preserved after a 5-year crusade by the Film Noir Foundation. Restored by UCLA Film, a television archive from a 35mm print. Again, it's for people who love physical media. This is where physical media is at its best, like resurrecting films that would otherwise essentially just be lost. Obviously there's a lot of films that sadly are lost, but next to the Tin Drum. Kurida's The Third Murder. Thieves Highway by Jules Dessin, who only relatively recently I realised is actually an American director. You just assume because of Rififi. He's French, but he's actually American. Terror in a Texas Town with Sterling Hayden and a harpoon. It does make sense. Sterling Hayden is a Swede. Just before you say the Norwegian Mac. The Perfect Sweet Smell of Success, which is one of the few films you can say is literally perfect. Preston Sturges' Amazing Sullivan Travels. Spotlight on a Murderer, beg your pardon, by Franjau. The Sorrow and the Pity. So Dark the Night, again, another wonderful example of a little strange noir that certainly I had never heard of, directed by Joseph H. Lewis. It's just a weird little film. Again, it's only 70 minutes, but well worth your time. It's a really odd little film. Next, Smash Palace. Fritz Lang's Secret Behind the Door. The Running Man by Carol Reed, which again is an odd little film. The aforementioned Jules Dassin, Rififi, quintessential. Ramrod, Andre de Toth. Not as good as The Day of the Outlaw, but still very good. The Prisoner with Alec Guinness and Jack Hawkins. Again, a film that I was not aware of. A really odd film about, it's either anti-communist, pro-communist. People have arguments what it's about and what it supports. Property is no longer a theft. Po Wayakatsi. Pickup Alley, which again is a really bizarre film with Trevor Howard as a drug dealer. Trevor Howard, who we're used to kind of stoic, establishment figures. This he's playing a sleazy drug dealer and having a whale of a time. I mean, he's fantastic. I mean, Victor Mature plays the straight guy who's obsessed with bringing him to justice, but Trevor Howard just blows him away. Phantom Lady, which is a fun little noir. The Oxbow Incident, William Wellman, fantastic western made for literally nothing, with Dana Andrews, Henry Fonda and Anthony Quinn. Night of the Hunter, wonderful. Nightfall by Jacques Tourneur, again interesting little noir. Network by Sidney Lumet or Lumet. Naked City by Jules Dassin. My Name is Julia Ross, again another very strange Joseph H. Lewis film with George McCready. It's a strange little film, but well worth watching. Mystery of Picasso, Clouseau. My Darling Clementine, one of the few John Ford films that I have, because I have an aversion to John Wayne. This also has the other version of the story, Frontier Marshal, with Randolph Scott. You do it for Randolph Scott. Alain Resnay's Milo. The four Marx Brothers at Paramount. So this has The Coconuts, Animal Crackers, Monkey Business, Horse Feathers and Duck Soup. And a bunch of really good extras. The original Manchurian Candidate, one of Frankenheimer's Purple Patch films. The Major and the Minor, an early Billy Wilder, which isn't as lewd as it suggests, as Ginger Rogers tries to play like a 12-year-old girl with Ray Milland. Obviously a film that just wouldn't be made today. It's not obviously in the canon of Billy Wilder films, it literally is a minor film, but there is moments of Wilder genius in it. Robert Altman's The Long Goodbye. Again, I'm not really a huge Altman aficionado, to be honest. I think this might be the only Altman film that I have. Jarmusch's Limits of Control. Again, not amongst his best, but great performances by an all-star cast, including some usual suspects for Jarmusch. Ko Yanakatsu. I still probably prefer Baraka and Samsara to the Katsy trilogy, but the Katsy trilogy was essentially the first. The Killing by Kubrick, and also Killer's Kiss by Kubrick. That's a lot of K's. The Don Siegel version of The Killers. And obviously the Sidamak version of The Killers. Jamaica Inn. Again, one of the handful of Hitchcock films I have. Don't have a lot of Hitchcock. Again, another great turn by Charles Laughton. Clouseau's Inferno, or What Might Have Been. Hold Back the Dawn, which is an interesting little film without being completely successful. Probably too long. Written by Billy Wilder and Brackett. The Hired Hand. Hard to Be a God, which I really need to rewatch because I wasn't that taken with it the first time I saw it. Fritz Lang's Hangmen Also Die, which again is way over long, 135 minutes, but a lot of fun. Set in Czechoslovakia, but an assassination of an SS Obergruppenführer and the resistance. Is a lot of fun. The Glass Key, another great little noir, Veronica Lake. Force of Evil, fantastic noir, fruity, wonderful dialogue. Fireman's Ball by Milos Forman. The Far Country, one of Anthony Mann's Jimmy Stewart westerns, which is awesome. La Diabolique, straight up masterpiece. So influential. The last 10 minutes still get you no matter how many times you watch it. Awesome. Departures. The Dark Mirror, which is a lot of fun. Crime and Punishment with Peter Lorre and Edward Arnold, which is absolutely wonderful. Directed by Joseph von Sternberg. The dialogue is just sensational. Peter Lorre is amazing in this film. It's just a lot of fun. It might not be word for word the closest to the book, but Peter Lorre and the dialogue is just wonderful. The Creeping Garden. Bertolucci's The Conformist. Closely Observed Trains, which is a lovely little film. Cinema Paradiso by Tornatore. I apologise. For me, it's nowhere near his best film. I obviously prefer Legend of 1900. Cinema Paradiso is very good, but for me, The Best Offer, Unknown Woman, Legend of 1900 are all better films than Cinema Paradiso, but this is the one that got the Oscar, I believe. Jules Dessin again, Brute Force, Burt Lancaster, fantastic. The Blue Dahlia. Bloody Spear at Mount Fuji. Sorry, just threw that one away. The Bitter Tears of Petra von Kant by Fassbinder. Again, I'm not a Fassbinder aficionado. Still haven't watched this. But if I do and I like it, I'll end up buying all his stuff, obviously. Robert Aldrich's fantastic, The Big Knife. I think kind of shot these back to back with Jack Palance, along with Attack, which is one of my favourite war films of all time. Great stuff. Rod Steiger with another subtle, understated performance. The Big Combo, Joseph H. Lewis, awesome film noir. The Big Clock, I mean, what more can you say? Ray Milland, Charles Laughton, a film noir, was kind of remade as No Way Out with Kevin Costner in the 80s, to pretty good effect. But The Big Clock, just fantastic. It presses all the right buttons for me. Bicycle Thieves, classic. Billy Wilder's The Apartment, with a book, one of his several masterpieces. Andrzej Wajda's Ashes and Diamonds, and La Assassino, which seems to have far too many S's. And I'll just quickly go through the box sets in Arrow Academy. Don't have that many. That's Woody Allen Volume 3, which has got 7 films. Woody Allen Volume 2, which has 6 films. And Woody Allen Volume 1, which has 6 films. Then we have the special edition of The Human Condition. Yes, SJS films, I still haven't watched it. That's in the 3 separate Amaray cases and the booklet. Then we have the Buddhist Trilogy by Jisose. I apologise to any Japanese reading speakers for butchering his name. Again, still haven't watched this one either. Then a common theme, this is Suzuki's Taiso Trilogy, which I still haven't watched, which contains Yumeji, Kagero-za, and Zaigunen Weisen, which sounds German. Intrigued to watch that. And it's just worked out this way, but saving the best till last. Shizlovsky's Decalogue. If you're going to buy one box set from Arrow Academy, you might as well make it Decalogue. A towering achievement. Nazarene Productions and I, on our other channel, Ronan Nazarene Talks, we did a series on the Decalogue, taking 2 episodes at a time. Stunning achievement, stunning job of upgrading it and restoring it by Arrow. The extras in this set are phenomenal. Short films. There's a really good Tony Raines appreciation. As normal with their box sets, there's a lovely book. And obviously Arrow Academy are releasing Shizlovsky's earlier works, so The Scar, Camera Buff, No End and Blind Chance on Blu-ray in March or April, which I've already pre-ordered because I love the man and I love his works. So that's another essential purchase. I mean, those films, perhaps with the exception of Blind Chance and No End, aren't as great as his later work, but to have them on Blu-ray, even though I do have them in Polish Blu-ray, but to get them in Blu-ray in an Arrow Academy box with a booklet and hopefully some illuminating extras, Arrow Academy has knocked Shizlovsky out of the park. Decalogue it's wonderful. One of the greatest things ever made, period. The fact that Kubrick said every episode's essentially a masterpiece is all the praise you really need. So thanks very much for watching this quick Arrow Academy update, and we'll see you on the other side of the break for the Arrow video collection, updated for the year 2020. So hopefully we'll see you then. See you in a bit.